Are we live? Yay! Hey, hey, Iconistas. Um, how you doing? I wanted to hop on and answer some of the questions that I've seen. I'll also do a full podcast video or something about this. A podcast video? No, just a podcast later about this. But there's a common question that's come up like 3 or 4 times over the last couple of days. So I wanted to address it. Okay, so hold on. So there seems to be a lot of sort of confusion. Hi, whoever's watching about, shit, do I have to just have two elements? What if I like what this element, what if I like the accessories from this element? Can I be all of the elements, right? Um, so let's see, what else? Is it possible to have three elements? Hi, Tara. I resonate with space, fire, and air. Then someone says, I've been wondering myself too. I think I have a tertiary element. Um, Hold on, there was someone else who mentioned. So anyway, this is one that's coming up a lot, right? Can we have three elements? Can we be all of the elements? What would it look like to be dressed in all the elements, right? So here's what I want to say. So part one is that we are all of the elements, right? We all have fire, air, water, and space and earth, right? We all have that within us in different aspects and in different quantities. What we want here is the two that we lead with visually and energetically. So your presence, right? What two of those energies do you lead with? And not because we want to get literal, right? If you're fire and water, not because you literally need to like every single thing about fire and every single thing about water, for example, right? That's not how this works. What we actually want to get to, once we get to your two elements sorted, once we understand what your two elements are, what we're actually looking for, and the whole point of this, is to get to your iconic essence. Okay, so the two elements, it's not just like, oh, I'm fire and water and that's it, and I have to like only the stuff that's on the fire boards and then only the stuff that's on the water boards, and shit, do I have to choose between both? What do I do? Like between the two, like what do I do? Or you know what, I like stuff on the air board too, so I think I'm all three. Shit, I like some stuff on the water board too, so I might be water too. No, so I want you to take a deep breath and trust that you are two of these. You lead with two of these, right? It doesn't mean you like every single thing about that I'm ever going to post, because also you have to understand I'm posting the elements from my perspective and from my tastes, right? So I'm posting shit that I like and that vibrates for me for those elements. So not all of it's going to like, you're not going to love all of it, because the point is these two elements, they're actually pillars. They're actually pillars that open up the portal to your iconic essence. And your iconic essence is unlike anyone else's iconic essence, right? So even if you happen to share two elements with someone else, once that portal is open and you're in your iconic essence, what you create with those two elements is totally different from what someone else creates with those two elements. So your version is going to be unique to you, right? Give me an emoji or something if you feel me, right? So I have many clients, especially more and more now, who share my same elements, right? Air and space. However, and there is some overlap, right? Because there's some common characteristics of certain things we like dressing in all black or whatever, shimmery shit. For some space people, for example, right? Or really loud, happy colors and patterns and silliness, quirkiness for air, right? But the way we do it is totally different. So no matter what your two are, it's going to open you up to your iconic essence, to your unique, distinct frequency and way of expressing. So imagine it's not just about your two elements, it's about the synergy and them becoming bigger than the sum of their parts. Does that make sense? Because you're like, to use the fingerprint or the snowflake analogy, that's how distinct your element your essence is, right? So it's not going to look like anyone else's. So yes, sometimes you might think, shit, I like that because maybe, and here's part two of this. A lot of things there are a lot of like staple items that, depending on how you style them and wear them, it can be argued that they belong to another element, right? It can be argued. And you might be someone who's space wearing something that people might say, oh my God, that's fire. It's asymmetrical. But the way a space person wears it makes it look like it's like a uniform to go on a rocket ship, right? So it really does depend. So that's why I try to get as stereotypical as possible and as literal as possible in the boards that I create so that it just gives you the imprint, sort of like the general spirit of the element. And if you really connect with the energy and the general spirit of it, then trust that the way you, right, the guides are just for a reference, right? The stores are just like a reference. So, or if you've bought the kit for your particular element. So when you go, you might buy stuff that's like, that I didn't even think of, but that helps you express your fire or your water or your space or whatever in a new way. And that happens with my clients all the time, right? Where I see like the different elements, but the way they put them together and what they create after that is just so fucking unique to them that it's amazing and beautiful. Even ones who share my same elements, the way they do it is totally different to the way I do it. Right? So I'm going to lovingly invite you all to stop getting caught up in the, oh, maybe I'm 3, maybe I'm all 5. What? Yes, you are all 5. However, the two that in order to open your iconic essence and understand your iconic frequency, the thing that makes that really enhances and amplifies your je ne sais quoi, and the one that's like your roadmap to your fuck yeah and to your inimitable style that no one can even like touch because it's so distinct, 2 of those are required to open that portal. Okay. The second part of this is your brain, whether if you went through the quiz, right, and you went through the quiz and now you're seeing the boards and you're like, shit, the quiz told me I was air, but I'm really driving with water. Like, what the fuck, Eyenie? Here's the thing. Our brain, when we're asked questions like on a quiz, our brain takes over. Our brain is like hijacking the, oh, did I not bring my water? The brain is hijacking the operation and telling us, no, but remember, we like that more than that. Yeah, just choose that. Choose that. Even though it's not perfect, we'll just choose that, right? So your brain is like logicking to try to get you to the answer that agrees the most with your current identity, that correlates to your current identity. So sometimes, yeah, and like none of this is an exact science, right? So sometimes it may be that you go through the quiz and the answers that you get are just not the answers, right? And then you work with me one-on-one or in one of my group containers, and the answers you get are like, oh, fuck yeah, there it is, because we approach it in a different way. You see what I'm saying? Is black a space thing? So Tara, yeah, black can be, so space loves monochromatics. As you can see here, I'm totally in a jumpsuit. I love a jumpsuit because I feel so soothing to be monochromatic. So space loves neutrals. So it can be a lot of black, it can be a lot of gray. I love gray. It can also be like nude colors, sort of like taupes. It can be beige. It can be white, or it can even be like patterned monochromatics, right? So like, or even bright colors, right? Depending on what your other element is. Black can also be a fire thing. What's your second, Tara? I think you're fire, right? So black can also be fire and worn in a different way, right? So it just depends on what feels like a fuck yeah to you and how you do it in a way that aligns. Does that make sense? And there was another question. Um, so yeah, we could argue like cerebrally, right? Um, Almost any article of clothing or a lot of articles of clothing, right? Especially staple ones could go. I could, because I've worked with so many clients, I could take any outfit and the way I style it I could have it fit into any of the elements, right? With the makeup and the hair and the accessories, things like that, you can make it whatever. It can be argued that it's any of the elements, right? So I want you to really feel more into the spirit of your element and also feel like if you have like 3 that you're really drawn to or whatever, like ask like which ones are my 2, like truth, which ones are my 2 fuck yeah elements, which ones do I know are mine. Don't let your brain answer, let your inner knowing answer, because your inner knowing knows what 2 will guide you to your distinct iconic essence, right? So just really play with that, like, okay, shit, I think I'm water, I think I'm this, I think I'm that. No, maybe it just so happens that sometimes you're not water, but you do like something that has a little flow or movement, right? That's another thing for fire too. Fire loves a little movement too. The way they do it is different. Fire's is a little edgier and a little more like sultry, whereas water's is softer and yeah, more just softer and more feminine, right? More soothing. So yeah, tap into the spirit of the elements, really connect with that and ask yourself just like straight up, like truth, which are my elements? Is air my element? Is fire my element? Like really go through it and trust yourself. This is all an exercise in trusting yourself and opening up that part of you that you've probably been ignoring, right? So when brain interferes, it can't really be, it's not a clean answer when brain interferes always, right? Sometimes brain does us take us to the right answer, but in my experience with this, not usually. It creates confusion. It also that can be a trick that your brain is playing, right? Maybe you're five of them, maybe you're four of the elements. Like what the fuck? Whoa, what's gonna happen, right? Maybe you're just one of them. No, because oh, and I'm gonna speak to that too. But if you're yes, again, you're all of them because you're a being of energy in this planet. We're all of the elements, right? Um, but no, to open this portal, you're two. So don't let your brain trick you into thinking that you're confused or that there's too much information or that you can't trust yourself. Ultimately, it's like saying, I can't trust myself. I don't know. I don't know what to choose, right? Any indecision, any overwhelm, any confusion is always a brain thing. Okay? Now, part two of this. Also, someone mentioned, I think I might just be one of the elements, right? And what I want to say to that is none of, like, if any of the elements, like, taken literally, it becomes sort of a stereotype. And not one of you in here is a stereotype. You are all fucking magical and complex and multifaceted, right? And you all have your nuances. So the second element brings in those nuances, right? They play with each other and they create this like yummy combination that is unlike anyone else's together, right? What they have to come together to then create this energy and this mix or whatever, right? The synergy that is only yours. So if we have one, you're too complex for that, right? There have to be hints of other magical things. And you might lean more toward one of the elements than the other. And that's, yes, of course, right? But then those hints and those little accents and they're like punctuation marks, right? Those things, those things are the ones that make all the difference in your style and giving you your full expression and voice, right? Again, even if one is more prominent than the other, because for some people it's 50-50, for some people it's 20-80, for some people it's 10-90, and that's all beautiful, right? So yes, you might be 90-10, but there's still that 10% that brings in the unexpectedness and that unique signature that is yours and yours alone. Okay? Is this helpful? Does anyone have any questions from what I've been yapping on about? No, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, well, post the questions here. And and I'm gonna invite you, if you have gone through the quiz and you're like, what the fuck, I can't get the right, like the answers, or I don't know what to choose, if it feels whatever daunting, or if it feels like brain is totally taking over and blocking you from understanding what they are, I would invite you to literally just sit down and then just go through the elements, just say air, water, fire, earth, space, and then write down the first one that jumps out at you, and then you do it again. Okay, air, you don't even have to ask a question, you just say them. And then the next one that speaks to you, that jumps out, that really gets your attention, you write it down. Those are your elements because they are in you. They are ready to have a voice and they are like, they're poised and ready for action. They're like, let's fucking do this. Just call me. Just say my name. Just say my name. Say my name and we'll play, right? So once that happens, you can just trust that those are yours. Let me just see if there are any other questions that I'm not seeing. Oh, we got a heart. I love black and white and gray. Yes. Fire. Yes, Tara. Fire also loves black. Space and fire is your hell yeah. Air seems to be fun though. Air is fun, but guess what? Space and fire can be fun. Like no no one has like a monopoly on fun, right? Like sorry guys, you can't be fun because you're not air. Whee! I'm gonna go be bubbly over here. You guys go be bored over there. That's not true, right? Like every element, you can still be fun, Tara, even if you're fire, right? It's more of an ignited and boom, flashy kind of fun, but it's yours. So just embrace it. Like fire and space can still be freaking fun. Like space is all cosmic and weird and odd and off the wall, right? You can totally have fun with both of those. Okay, and Eloise, I think mine are air and space, but I also like the rock chick though. And you know what, Eloise, I grew up with a biker bitch mom and listening to heavy metal and shit, which I never loved, but it did have a mark on me. It made an impression on me. I love looking like a 70s rocker chick, like a little, like thigh-high boots and like things that are edgy and rocker, like, I love that too. And for me, the way I do it, it really does match my space and air. So just trust that. Air and space. Oh, air and space. Yeah. So just go with it. Sometimes maybe your space or your air is like a whimsical, like rocker chick kind of thing, right? Like I love Joan Jett, Pat Benatar, mine are 80s chicks, right? But just go with it. Like it also the rock thing is not exclusive to fire. Like shit, I'm not fire, so I can't be badass and edgy. Okay, never mind. You can still be badass and edgy. Adriana, yes, you definitely see the play of different energies. Tell you what is what element. You mean go through the description of each of the elements, Adriana? Is that what you mean? I can do it briefly, and I need to maybe find, I've definitely gone over it in different videos, but I can just do it very briefly here. So air, the other word I use for air is effervescent. So like, you know, the bubbles at the top of champagne. So air is very lighthearted and bubbly and fun and whimsical and quirky. Here, let me just show you a very air water bottle. So my little one just got this. Can you see it? It's just quirky eyeballs. So like weird little, it could be shoes with something like this, right? It could be a shirt with like little pineapple slices. Um, oh, sorry. Okay, got it. You want me to break down what I'm wearing today? Yes. So today, so I'm space and air. So my earrings are definitely spacey, right? They kind of remind me of like planets in orbit. My glasses are definitely spacey, but if you look closely, they have I don't know if you can see, they have stars. So that feels a little like whimsical and fun. Oh, thank you. And then this bow tie just, it's silly and it feels cheeky. And Air loves like the whole like good girl look, like bib collars and little bow ties and buttoning things up to here. That's like, hi. That's very sort of like whatever, like the cliche, like good girl or like the little like these like nun colors. That's very Air. So for me, the Air, like it feels really fun and kind of cute. Cute can be Air as well to do this. It just feels, yeah, like wee, a little bit quirky. So that's how I bring the Air. And then also in my socks, I have glittery socks on. So glitter is like fun for Air, but also a little bit magical for space as well. Does that make sense? And thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. All right. Any other questions before I hop off? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. Yay. So again, someone else who's air and space might be like, I really don't resonate with that outfit, Eyenie. Like I would wear bright orange, like I don't know, watermelon or papaya earrings, and then like some crazy pink glasses and a green, like a neon green bow tie with that. And my jumpsuit would not be gray, right? So it just depends. It depends on you and what's the fuck yeah for you. Okay, yay! Thank you for watching. Oh, and for those of you watching, Glow the Fuck Up and Create Your Iconic Wardrobe from Scratch begins on the 4th. I know, Adriana, you're already in. Yay! I know some of you were interested, so grab your spots. There are already a few spots that are gone, and if you want to get the bonus, one of the bonuses, I'm going to do outfit assessment on you. You send me, so you get Voxer to me, for, like a bonus is you get Voxer with me for a week. And I go through some of your outfits to tell you how to bring in more of your elements, like different ways you can do it. Yeah, Air is kind of a rainbow. Yeah, it's like fun and magical and it's like springtime on overdrive. And like hummingbirds and puppies. Yes, that's definitely Air. Um, so glow the fuck up and create your iconic wardrobe from scratch begins on January 4th. One of the bonuses is an outfit assessment from me where I go through and tell you exactly what to do to balance out your elements or to bring out the one that you're neglecting and ignoring. Okay, so you can start doing that stat. And what else? Okay, well, that's already a fucking good one. And access to me via Voxer for a whole week, so you can continue asking questions. And then I take you exactly like through really understanding your elements, understanding their superpowers, understanding how they express. And then we craft what your like your silhouettes are, your register is, right? How casually do you dress? How formally do you want to dress? What do these fuck yeah outfits, what are they made of? What are the templates for them or the silhouettes, right? So that you can then go shopping for them in the easiest, most amazing way on any fucking budget. Okay. So I think that is it, darling. So join us. Again, January 4th is when we begin. Spots are already gone. And if you want these bonuses, which can like be huge game changers, like shake those tail feathers and come and get it, icons. And I missed the beginning. Did you mention space and water combo? No, I didn't like talk through all the combos, Adriana, but yeah, space and water would just be like space weirdness, like lots of minimalism and geometric shapes, but then also with that flow, maybe flowy skirts, things that are really soft to the touch, like lovely, yummy sweaters and things like that, to also nourish the water, for example. And we'll be talking about this in the group program a lot more. And also in the group program, you get an hour with me every week to ask questions. You get a 2-hour closet session where we'll be starting to just create outfits that are totally a fuck yeah from the first week. So you'll just be doing that. Okay? All right, and it's only $4.97, and you even get a VIP option where you get an hour with me that's $9.97. So come on, folks. Okay? I'm so excited to see who joins this round. Yay! Okay, I'm off like a prom dress. Toodles.